Hello, it's Christmas Eve. And so it's the last day of my honey advent this year. And I have to share this honey. It would not be a honey advent without this honey. And this is a really, really special honey for so many reasons. I was given it from the National Natural Honey Co. in Oman. And it came via Dr. Hassan in Italy. So this jar of honey had travelled all around the world. I saw the jar. It was entered in a competition in Canada at Apimondia in 2019. And this company have won awards for their honey. And I've met them all. I've met the team. Really exciting, really lovely people in Oman. One of my favourite places in the world. So, the story of frankincense honey. When I went to Oman and Dr. Hassan took me around and we met traditional beekeepers. And of course I was fascinated to know what the bees were feeding on, because Oman, as you may or may not know, is sort of mountains and desert. So you'd think, where are the flowers? And yet there is an abundance of honey. The bees there are happy. The bees produce a lot of honey, so there's lots of honey for the people. So it's a really great place for honey. But also because the majority of people are Muslims, and in the Quran it states that honey is medicine and that we should value it and we should take care of the bees. So people take care of the bees and they take care of their land. So the Sultan declared that no chemicals were to be used in the land. And I'm sure that there is a connection. If we as humans take care of the land, then the bees are healthy and then they can produce more honey, which they're happy to share with us, which is excellent medicine. So when I was asking Dr. Hassan about the different plants that feed the bees, there's cedar, and I think I included cedar as one of my honeys during the Advent, and that's a really excellent honey. And then there's a summer, and then you have olive tree honey. And then there's lots of sort of wildflowers in Oman. But then I heard of frankincense honey. Now, I wouldn't say I'm an active Christian, but I've been brought up in a Christian family and in a Christian environment. So growing up as a child, I went to Sunday school and I've gone to many, many carol services. And my favourite carol, my favourite story of the Christmas story is of the three wise men. And the fact that these men followed a star from the Far East and went to Bethlehem. So on many levels, I'm fascinated with this. I'm fascinated that they were wise men and they followed a star. So there was no sort of, Instagram or sort of global news that was telling them that they had to go somewhere. They just followed a star and they took gifts. So there was gold, frankincense and myrrh. And as a child, frankincense and myrrh were completely alien. It's not the kind of thing that you see in Dorset. And I didn't really know what they were. Well, when I heard that there were frankincense trees in Oman, I was so excited. And so the resin from these trees is the frankincense that would be used as a resin, and it would be burned or it would be made into an ointment. And it's very, very perfumed. It's got a really strong flavour or aroma. So I've really loved frankincense essential oil, particularly at this time of year, and it's great for cleansing the air. So it's a purifier. So frankincense is a purifier. And of course, if you have a tree, the tree's likely to have flowers. And so the bees feed on the flowers and make frankincense honey. Wow. But the trees are becoming rarer. And so there's not a lot of trees and there's not a lot of flowers. So to get the honey is even rarer. So the honey comes from the southwest of Oman, so around Salalah, which is a place I've yet to visit and I would love to go there. Although it's on the Yemeni border, so naturally most people that know me would be horrified to think that I'd want to go and travel there. Anyway, I would, just to meet the beekeepers and see frankincense flowers. So when I heard about frankincense, it became an obsession to try the honey, and there's only a small amount of honey each year. So I was given this jar because they knew how passionate I was, and it is amazing. It's much more subtle than the essential oil, obviously. So I didn't know what to expect when I first tried it. My honey has crystallized because I'm in a cold temperature here, so, and I store all my honeys at 10 degrees to stabilize them. So it's called Al Luban honey. So it's crystallized, but it's very soft and smooth, and it dissolves really gently. And what it actually leaves is an aftertaste. It is a sort of mild coffee, caramel, but it does have this slight perfume. I have tasted some frankincense honey, but I think it's been infused and then it's very strong. So if it's very strong, it's highly unlikely to be pure frankincense honey, but I know this is pure frankincense honey, so it's amazing. Now, at the weekend, I went on a solstice walk, a solstice pilgrimage with Chris Parks, which I mentioned earlier. And Charlotte Pulver is a homeopath, and she was guiding us through this pilgrimage. And she talked about gold, frankincense and myrrh. And frankincense was meant to connect us to the spirit. So frankincense is this sort of ethereal, amazing substance that connects us to the spirit. Myrrh, which is another resin from trees, that actually connects us to the ground. And gold connects the two together. But it's often reported that the three wise men, they bought frankincense, myrrh, but the gold was actually liquid gold, which is honey. So wouldn't that be amazing if it was actually frankincense honey that was taken? So who knows? But it is my favourite story, and one of my boys is actually named after one of the three wise men. So it's really special. So how fitting to maybe start the festivities today, Christmas Eve, frankincense honey. It would be amazing to be able to get some of this in the UK. But in the meantime, just trust me, it's delicious. And basically we need to save the frankincense trees. So if you don't know what to do this year, then maybe try and sponsor a frankincense tree, so we can have frankincense in the future, because it's such a powerful tree, such an important tree, and connecting us to spirit, whether it's the Holy Spirit or our own spirit. We all need a good bit of spirit over the festive season. So wishing you all a Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for sharing with me on my Honey Advent, and wishing you all health and an abundance of honey in 2022.